number one, you need to know why it's number one. Welcome to another episode of Viva Enthusiast. And today again I want to welcome my fellow connoisseurs, aficionados and of course the enthusiasts. We shall continue with the Julieta No.2, also known as the Churchill, in the second part of the review series, head to head between the H.Upmann Sir Winston, or Sir Winnie as we call it, via the Cohiba Espléndidos. As many say, some of these two are the most prestigious and best that Cuba and Habanos SA has to offer out of its portfolio. The Cohiba Espléndidos is a cigar which came to the market much later than the Sir Winston and was released in 1989. And this cigar is part of the Cohiba Classica Linea line, which is supposed to be a more medium to fuller bodied profile. These Espléndidos come in a varnish boîte nature of 25 cigars, but were previously a varnished semi-boîte of 25, which was discontinued in 2003. However, they are still released today in a display box of 15 in 5 cardboard packs of 3, which is where these samples came from. Unfortunately, on today's sample, this cigar that we are going to sample has a slight crack on the foot, but it should be okay. It has a much higher line of a triple cap than the Sir Winnie. The seams again are very tidy, but veins are much more present with a crackly presentation along the wrapper. There is also a slight tiny little nick on the wrapper near the cap, and is not as nice as quite in presentation as the Sir Winnie, but it still looks presidential. The aromas are in fact quite subtle and not much going on. It is considerably lighter in weight in lifting compared to the Sir Winnie, and the aromas that is present is some faint cedars, grassy, agricultural and tobaccos. The foot isn't really much coming off. So we are lit. They say it did have a crack in it. And it's pretty much taken away the crack. That crack's right there, so that's perfect. So let's see how this presidential Espléndidos has to offer. Instantly, that pepper, ground black pepper, creamy, well, not full cream yet, single cream of cedars, so slight Cohiba twang, not even Cohiba twang, of that vegetable grassy notes. It's quite a firm draw as well. You see, it's not tight, but it's quite solid here. Might open up, but I might just leave it like I did with the Sir Winnie. That Cohiba twang is starting to come out. That vegetable grassy notes come out. They come out a lot in the retro as well, a bit more pronounced. So far, it's a solid start, very solid start. Not quite getting the vanilla, but that cedars is there. Let's give you one more. Her output is great, isn't it? That vanilla is coming in now, quite nice. Cohiba, when they get the blend right, it's lovely. It's not quite as punching as the Siglo 2 when it bring that Siglo 2 Cohiba punch, but this is from the classic line, so I expect differently from the Siglo line. But this reminds me a bit more of the Siglo 4. So the review is on the blog. I didn't do a vlog of that. I was because I was out when I did that review. But it reminds me, the profile was a lot more spicy in the Siglo 4 than the Siglo 2. Siglo 2 was very mild and creamy. Siglo 4 was a bit more spicy and earthy and so forth. This reminds me of that, but it's given that Cohiba twang with that vanilla and cedars and that vegetable grassy notes. Now, as I said, because of that crack, I'm not fully gonna cut it down for that first part of the third and the burn line. So we'll leave now. Magnifique, magnificent, excelente, très bien. Fantastic so far, fantastic start. So my friends, we are in good way in the second third now. I'm going to wrap up the end of the first third. Now, after I initially left you, it did go a little bit quiet. There wasn't much going on. And then funny enough, as I was about to type, I was typing the blog and I actually just started to say, it's gone a little bit quiet, a bit disappointing. Bang, the keyboard woke me up and said, nah, we're not being disappointed today. And, well, firstly, that creamy cedar vanilla that left, and what came of it was an earth. Now that earth wasn't a generic earth, it wasn't a allspice earth. It actually was more grassy. It was a grassy earth, like when you pick up plants and it has that grassiness, but you can smell the soil from the earth. It was like a very grassy earth, and then mixed with that Cohiba twang. So it was that grassy earth mixed with that Cohiba twang. Then came the ground black pepper, the spice, and ground chili, and also nutmeg. So as you come around with that ground chili, nutmeg was then taking over that last part of the flavour. It was very nice. It's coming very nice. Well, obviously we're now at, what's this, like Siglo 4 stage. This is what, 47 gauge, Siglo 4. Yeah, no, it's a bit shorter than Siglo 4 right now. Probably about Siglo 2 right now stage. Yes, it's very lovely, very lovely. It's much different to the Sir Winnie's earth and ground black pepper and pepperiness spice is completely different to this Cohiba. The earth in the Cohiba is completely different. It has the Cohiba has its own twang, which comes in more, which that H.Upmann blend twang I was telling you about, that's similar to Cohiba. The Sir Winnie didn't have it, but it's not very strong in this Espléndidos at the moment, but it's more pronounced and it's more comes through a lot more better with that grassy earth, which is very different type of earth that is very grassy. See if I can more. The retro as well. The retro is exactly the same. Very nice. and the burn line is good, just slight off because as I was doing a cinematic and it actually dropped right in my lap, right in the wrong part you don't want it to be in. And when I put the flame, I just quickly put the flame on it and just singed a little bit of the top of the wrapper. So the burn line is a little bit off because of that. But when it initially ashed in the first third and I just retouched it, it was burning perfectly fine. The line is fine. So at the moment, you know, the little jaggedy edge is more my fault. It's not really the cigar's fault. Again, that grassy earth is so different. It's very grassy, man. It's literally like you're just going to the garden and just pulling out plants. Honestly, it's very grassy, that Cohiba. Ground black pepper is actually going a little way now. It's tiny bit of spices there, but at this moment it's dominated by that grassy earth, and Cohiba twang is very dominated by that. Ever so slight vanilla is coming back in as well. It's not really coming with cedars. No, it's more it's quite like a mahogany woody kind of taste, like mahogany wood. It's woody, it's not oaky at all, it's more like a mahogany wood. Not cedary or woody, is more of a mahogany. It's coming in with that note as well. So this is very interesting, quite complex. But lovely so far. So I will come back to you much later on. I'll give you an update maybe what was in that second third, what else might come in the second third, and I'll just basically come to you in the last third and wrap up. So we're at the half Corona Perla cigar 1 stage. I'm just going to wrap it up here, finish off. I just don't want to vlog anymore. I just want to finish this. It's just been fantastic. I've had to write notes. This cigar has changed so many times, and the little ways it's changed. I've had to write notes on it because it changed for how it is now. So at the end of that second third, which was coming into the last third, it was grassy. It came full effect grass, very grassy, with that Cohiba twang, and it mixed in nicely with the earth. It was really nice. The earth was the last flavour to leave your mouth. If you read the blog will have this all detailed down properly. Just I needed to write these notes here to save in the vlog. It was black pepper, allspice. Yeah, the thing was, it just kept you on the toes. Every time you thought it was, you know, sitting in one way, it changed. It just kept changing, and it constantly kept you on your toes. Gave you different things. But it wasn't like one way sharp and then bang, it's another shot. It was so calmly and smooth. The way it was calm in the way it just relaxed into the next transition. But it kept you on your toes of, oh, this is something different. Oh, the development is always giving it this way now. I then moved to a generic earth. So that grassy Cohiba twang mixed with earth. It was just very generic earth, and the grass was there, but it was separate note now. So it was that generic earth. Then you got a grassy note, which was completely separate. I didn't have that earth in it. And at the end note, the end of that was it rang leather. So you had the generic earth, then it became grassy, and then it became leather. And then through the retro was the exact same three in that order, and then ground black pepper came off on your nose, off at the end of that leather. It was just, it's literally been sublime. It's been so good. in that retrospect. So good. Right now, smoke of this thing is just fantastic. I can't believe the smoke of this thing. That's it. Still got that earth, you know. The leather has diminished. The cedars and vanilla has diminished. It's earthy, so I'm gonna do it again. Creamy now. Creamy. It's like buttery now. It's changed again a little bit from just when I was writing, just before coming on the vlog, but it's creamy now, buttery and earthy, and allspice. Allspice. So just before coming on the vlog, the allspice then became the next dominant flavour of that earth. It wasn't generic, it was very allspice flavour. It is just absolutely fantastic. Honestly guys, this is fantastic. The only issue is the burn line. The only issue is fixed up a bit, but at times it has just kept being a bit jaggedy and a bit on off. Score, burn 4.5 out of 5 because of that. Construction 5 out of 5. Ash has been great. It's ashed on me. It's kept on a light. Obviously it's gone a light a couple times, but that's because I've left it, because I've had to like write and then, you know, come back for the camera and so forth. But that's when it's been on, it's had no issues whatsoever. It's just through my fault, and times where the burn has been not been a cigar's fault, where I've thinged it by accident. It's been perfectly fine. The output, you can see, is good. The draw is firm, but this is something that H.Upmann will love. He loves that resistance, something like that. He would love the draw in this. Some people might say it's a bit tight, and like I said to you, it was firm, very firm. I haven't opened it up at all. I just let it do its thing. Flavor profile has to be 5. It has to be. Just has to be. It's just come with predominantly all the same flavors, all in a whole basket, but it's come with it in different ways. It's mixed it in different ways. The complexity of how it's come in different ways has to be 5. Transition has to be 5. It's carried on transition all the way through, right up until I've put the camera on. Right before I put the camera on, it was different. It's just all the way changed, but like I said, in a very soothing and smooth, calm manner. Fantastic. Finish 4.8 out of 5. What missed this to be a 0.5? I would have liked a bit more of that Cohiba twang to be a bit more strong. That vanilla sort of marzipan note, would have loved that to be a bit more, to come a little bit more. I love, with this creamy cedar, I would love that to come out a bit more, just to give it that soft succulent taste to complement all the rest. That would have given it the 5. I have to be a little bit strict in it, so I have to give, I can't give 5 across the whole board, so that's what is missing. Altogether 4.86 out of 5, 24.3 out of 25. Now, this is number 2 across the whole board in the channel of scores. The number 1, fortunately the vlog can't go up, but the written is up, is the Rafael Gonzalez 88 that I had on the head-to-head with the La Gloria Colmana Britannicas, which also was a fantastic score. I think that scored like 24.1. Those guys are leading the channel. This, with the D4 as well, this is number 1. It lost 0.3 because of the burn. The Rafael Gonzalez, the lowest score the Rafael Gonzalez scored was 2 4.8s, and the rest was 5s. That 4.5 has lost it, that 0.3 of score, but the Rafael Gonzalez was just so different. It was, that nutty flavour was just something else. It was just fantastic. It was beautiful the way it came together. It was just brilliant. I did have one a couple months after that, and it was great. Didn't bring that nutty flavour as much, but it was still a great cigar. Solid 23, high, low 24s. That cigar was brilliant. But this really is the number one. It's just been so calm and it's relaxing. Time wise, I think altogether, when I've finished everything out, it was about 3 hours and so many. This is about, I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's about, I think it's under the same amount of time. Around 2.5, 3 hours. I can't quite remember the time I started this. It's just utterly fantastic, honestly. And the thing is, right? They say Cohibas need time. I do believe that it does need time to bring in more. It's got more to give in a lot more time. This has had, oh, actually, no, I got this at the beginning. So this has had, this has had about 10, 11 months of sitting down. Another 6, 7 months on this will be, it's changing again now. It's got marzipan now. Earth has gone soft and succulent. It's got marzipan flavour now. I can't give it any more score than 5. It's really got the top marks. It's got like a marzipan flavour. Cedars are coming in as well. This is the best cigar, honestly. This wipes the floor of the Sir Winnie. Absolutely wipes the floor twice on a Sunday with the Sir Winnie. Edition Limitada, is he even coming close? I don't even care if when I get those a bit more rested, maybe they'll come better, but the base notes of what those had is not even coming close to this. It really isn't. The transitions is just out of this world. I'm just upset. I saw free somewhere, had it lined up to get it. Fortunately, just didn't have the funds to get it, and someone swiped it. So, to that person, whoever took those last 3, this is fantastic. Honestly, it's sublime, sublime. This might be number 1 for the most enjoyed of the year as well. Sublime. Now the thing is, this and the Sir Winnie is kept in Malustro, and it's a different condition to where all my other Cohibas, barring one other Cohiba, is also with, will sit in with this and the Sir Winnie in the Lustro, and the conditions I'll put up maybe in a picture now. All my other Cohibas, every single other Cohiba, I've completely put separately, purposely. So just all Cohiba cigars, no other cigars in it, just only Cohiba cigars. And those conditions I've got a little bit more cooler. I put 62s in there, and these are the conditions for those. You'll see from those 2 picks, they're completely, it's a little bit low. I just think the Cohiba probably would better with a bit more lower. I would love to see how my other Espléndidos go, because they're all from the same batch, but those are, like I said, in a lower humidity. I love to see how those turn out. But guys, I have to say, this completely smashed the floor of Sir Winnie. It's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's brilliant. Best cigar of the year. By score, yes, by score it's number 2, but this is, I've really enjoyed that RAF 88. I was raving about it. I was talking to my friends who's had the RAF 88. They didn't know I was doing the vlog, but I was just shouting out who's had the RAF 88 lady. This is just sublime, and I'll reiterate, when Cohiba do it properly and they do it correct, can't be beat. Simple. The Sigla 4 was good, very good. The Corona Estrella that I had Billionaire wasn't so good, to be honest. It was, I just felt like I was having a Purana Petit Corona, which is no disrespect to that. It's one of my favourite cigars of the year. It's a fantastic cigar. But when I was smoking, I was like, I'd rather have the PRPC. The Siglo 2 was just mesmerising, out of this world, mesmerising the way that delivery. This is a medium body cigar. Some people will say it's a fuller as well. Some people will have this more as a fuller body in strength as well. and body, medium to full. It fits the classic line perfectly. That Siglo 2 I had was very mild, very, very, very creamy. That Cohiba twang was just more punching in your face. A little bit of that is what this is missing, and that would get the finish 5, 100%. But yeah, guys, this has probably gone on really longer than I really wanted to. But you know, when you see greatness and you see number one, you need to know why it's number one. Like I said, by score, yes, it's number 2, but in reality, this is the number 1, 100%. This is the number 1 cigar out there. So again, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed this month. We've just had abundance of beautifulness this month. We've had a lot of car crashes and poor ones, unfortunately, but on these two, this series, we've just had greatness, absolute pure greatness. So Winnie in more time could probably step up and compete with the Espléndidos, but the Espléndidos for me is just in another level, it's in another world, it's in another realm. So Winnie's just not getting, it's just not getting it at all. I love to see how my other batch of Sir Winnie's do against that. So maybe next year I might do a quick little recap or something of it. But guys, like, share, subscribe, and join us again in the next month and next few videos and episodes of Viva Enthusiast.